When the rapture arrives and rains its torments on the world, a couple vows to protect their love even when the Antichrist stands in their way. In a TV broadcast, Reverend Rick Forrest discusses the rapture as Christ's way of snatching up his believers. The sinners left behind will suffer torments on earth. To Lindsey, one of those left behind, the post-rapture events are even stranger, as she watches two bodies submerged face down in a jacuzzi while standing next to her boyfriend Ben. The rapture happened on an ordinary day. Lindsey and Ben were bowling, when suddenly half the world disappeared, leaving only the clothes they wore. These were the people who went to church and missed out on the fun. Chaos ensued after the rapture, and the unbelievers' wails can be heard throughout the city. Lindsey and Ben's mothers were both taken, but to their surprise, Lindsey's mother, Laura, was sent back down the next day. Laura sobs and rants about how she got pushed out of heaven because someone cut in line for a massage. To cope, she judges how disorganized heaven handles the rapture, but Lindsey's father, Mr. Lewis, casually reminds her that heaven does the judging, not her. The torments occur days later, beginning with the locusts that are able to speak and constantly yelling at them. One infiltrated Lindsey's house, which greatly annoys her father because the locusts can't be easily exterminated. After the locust swarm, blood started to rain intermittently, followed by the wraiths who plague the world by slaughtering people. While many died during the apocalypse, one curiously returned from the dead, Lindsey's neighbor, Mr. Murphy. Unlike typical zombies chasing people for their brains, Mr. Murphy prefers mowing the lawn incessantly, even after his mower gets stolen. As predicted, the Antichrist finally showed up as a politician named Earl. He achieved power by poisoning the entire White House staff and launching missiles to obliterate multiple cities across the world. For intimidation purposes, Earl dubbed himself the Beast and has settled in Lindsey's hometown, Seattle. Revelations predicted most things correctly, except for the foul-mouthed crows. Ben gets frustrated at one crow and wants to fight it, but Lindsey manages to calm him down. To make some money during the trying times, the couple dreams of starting a sandwich cart, but their conversation is interrupted when flaming rocks fall from the sky. They spot one of their friends and advise him to seek shelter, but he instead challenges heaven. As a result, he's crushed to death by a fallen rock. In Lindsey's room, the couple hears rocks about to fall from the sky and seeks shelter under a door frame. Outside, her parents are having an argument and don't run for cover soon enough. Unfortunately, Mr. Lewis is struck by a large rock right in front of his grieving wife. Lindsey calls it the worst day of her life and she no longer knows what to feel. Though the apocalypse is difficult for everyone, her brother Clark and his friend Fry are adjusting well. They plan to kayak down the Blood River despite Laura's pleas and Ben's warnings for them to remain careful. Years after the rapture, some of the wraiths are now unemployed and spend most of their time doing illegal substances. As Clark's about to leave, two wraiths ask for some illicit substances. Clark rolls his eyes, hands them some, and drives away. Not everyone is struggling in the apocalypse, such as those who made deals with the devil and are on the Beast's payroll, like Mr. House, Ben's father. While watching the Beast's TV interview about looking for a demure woman to marry, he gushes about being one of the Beast's bodyguards. Mr. House thinks the Beast just gets a bad rap, but Ben and Lindsey counter with the Beast's many evil actions, like destroying Chicago. Finding the discussion pointless, Mr. House invites them to work for the evil man. He also criticizes the couple's selflessness and reminds them the rapture was a one-time thing. Frustrated, Ben and Lindsey leave to fix their sandwich cart. In the garage, Lindsey suggests that if their sandwich business works out, they should move in together and start a family. Ben wonders if she'd really want to raise kids in the apocalypse, and she believes things will get better eventually. They stare lovingly at their cart when a large rock suddenly falls on it, blowing it apart. With no money to get the cart fixed, Ben and Lindsey are forced to work for the Beast, and Mr. House delightfully takes them to work with him. At the gate, a wraith checks them and scans the car, and the leader makes his spite for Mr. House clear. Without the Beast around, House comfortably shows them around the estate. However, as they reach the pool, the Beast and the security entourage drive around the corner. Morgan, one of the Beast security agents, approaches House and reminds him to always remain agreeable to their boss. The Beast alights from the golf cart, all suited up as he introduces his son, Little Beast, to Mr. House. Little Beast demands a poolside, and though House is only a guard, he's forced to accommodate the request. The Beast receives a call from his ex-wife. When he hangs up, Little Beast curses him out, but he laughs it off and orders the slide ready by next week. As he leaves, he notices Lindsey and is instantly smitten. He walks closer, shoos Ben aside, and flirts with her before forcing her to walk with him around the estate. Ben is fuming that the Beast wants to steal Lindsey, but his father stops him. While on the stroll, the Beast makes explicit comments thinly disguised as compliments. Lindsey tries to ignore them and discusses the sandwich business she plans to run with Ben. Enamored, the beast suggests getting intimate, and her hesitation leads him to deduce that she's still pure. This excites the man, and he vows to make her first time special, making her visibly uncomfortable. To avoid complications, Mr. House hits his son in the head with a shovel to stop him from confronting the beast. Inside the mansion, the beast reveals his intentions to marry Lindsey because he wants more children, but the idea horrifies her. Meanwhile, Ben groans and is shocked his father knocked him out. He decides to continue pursuing the beast, earning him another strike to the head, and Mr. House forcibly removes Ben from the estate. The beast claims the reason Lindsey's scared of marriage is that many will despise her for being with him. If he dies, he'll become Satan, but she'll remain mortal. So to protect her, the beast reveals his secret weapon, a laser beam. When Jesus returns to vanquish him, the beast will shoot him down, horrifying Lindsey with the thought. The beast finally asks for her answer to his proposal. When she declines, he blackmails her by threatening to go after her loved ones. Lindsey immediately backtracks and asks for some time to think. In all his leniency, the man grants her 8 hours to think it over. On the drive home, Lindsey's dead silent as Ben and his father argue about how the beast gets whatever he wants. Ben's certain Lindsey won't agree to the arrangement because she loves him. Outside Lindsey's house, Mr. House takes her aside, claiming that he feels like her father figure. He guilts her by remarking their deaths won't matter to her if she chooses to reject the proposal. When Laura learns of the situation, she laments about why their family is cursed. Clark walks in and nonchalantly comments that it's because she's annoying, mocking her as she walks out. Lindsey asks her brother to be nicer to Laura, but Clark wants her to marry the beast and take the chance to dispose of him, and Fry echoes Clark's idea. Clark and Fry leave, annoyed at a wraith who keeps pestering them for substances. When Lindsey speaks to the sobbing Laura, who now wants her to marry the beast to protect their family, Lindsey slaps some sense into her and promises they'll think of a plan. Ben and Lindsey discuss their options, and he resigns, saying they should have just gone to church and believed. She assures him they'll pull through the problem together. While reading the Bible, they confirm they can't kill the beast, but God would imprison him for 1,000 years. Lindsey wonders why they can't just do it themselves, as her father once created an escape-proof dog kennel. When Ben sees it, he notes the beast could just yell for help or escape. Lindsey comes up with shallow countermeasures and remains optimistic that the beast might even change for the better. Ben says they still need to get past the raids and the guards before they can reach the beast. For a diversion, they need someone unkillable, like Mr. Murphy. Talking to Murphy is much harder than they imagined, so Ben bluntly informs him that he's dead and doesn't really have a lawnmower, which just angers Mr. Murphy, who returns to mowing. Ben goes home to take their mower, which he lies to his father about being the dowry Lindsey will need to marry the beast. Mr. House catches on and freaks out when Ben reveals they'll imprison the beast in a kennel because the idea is too absurd, especially when the couple doesn't have a backup plan. They each hurriedly reach for an item, and Ben demands that his father drop the rake, and when he does, Ben knocks him out. When Ben returns to Mr. Murphy, he doesn't listen, forcing Ben to carry him over to the pickup truck and show him the mower. With the mower as bait, Ben tells Mr. Murphy that he can have it as long as he comes with them. Their plan will start with Clark and Fry distracting the wraiths with substances so Ben can drive the truck into the property, while Lindsey sedates the beast. Mr. Murphy will draw away the guards on the mower, allowing them to take the beast and imprison him in the kennel. Later, Lindsey wears a revealing white dress, causing Ben to doubt their plan. They brief themselves again and exchange I love yous before a car arrives to pick Lindsey up. She bids goodbye to Ben, Clark, and Fry, who leave for the mansion in 5 minutes. On edge, Ben demands the two friends take the plan seriously. Reverend Rick discusses what happens after the rapture. Jesus will descend on a white horse and smite the Antichrist, so God can establish his kingdom on earth. In his mansion, the beast wears a lilac suit and excitedly dances in front of a mirror. When Lindsey arrives, he expresses how he's looking forward to their lovemaking before he hands her a bouquet of flowers. As the beast hurries inside, Morgan warns Lindsey not to break the beast's heart. Inside, Lindsey finds a candlelit dinner while the beast plays a piano and sings an explicit song about what he plans to do to her. Lindsey offers to pour the beast a drink, noticing the eggnog in the blender. With his attention elsewhere, Lindsey hurriedly pours illicit substances into the mix. While pouring the drinks, the beast acts out how poorly he thinks Ben took the news, with Lindsey nodding along to the impression. She marches up to him, gives him the drink, and acts shy while requesting to have all his guards gathered to raise her a toast. Meanwhile, Ben arrives outside the gates, but the raids deny him entrance. Ben feels little resistance and is about to turn back when the raids catch a whiff of the illicit substance. In the back seat, Clark lowers his window and offers the guards some. Learning they have an entire stash, the raids invite them into the guardhouse. In the dining area, the guards each hurriedly grab a drink. but as the beast is about to gulp down his, he's reminded that he has to see Little Beast before he sleeps. Lindsey tries to get him to drink, but he leaves and a frustrated Lindsey follows. Later, the beast invites her into the bedroom, but she stalls, telling him to wait after dinner. Outside, the Raids all enjoy the substances they're smoking, allowing Ben to enter the property with his truck. Parked by the mansion, Ben hurriedly instructs Mr. Murphy to mow as much grass as he wants without letting anyone stop him. Alarms blare as guards spot Ben and Mr. Murphy, who falls off the mower which speeds away without him. Guards appear and demand answers from Mr. Murphy. Morgan orders his men to shoot, but when the guards check Mr. Murphy, he topples them with the lawnmower. At the gate, a wraith notices the commotion, but the rest dismiss his paranoia, and Clark and Fry turn the music up to keep them distracted. Lindsey checks the time and plays along to the beast talking about his interest, fooling him into thinking they have a connection. When the beast once again thinks it's time they retire to the bedroom, Lindsey suggests going to the jacuzzi. She texts Ben about the beast not drinking the sedative and asks for help, prompting him to run to the pool. By the pool, Lindsey has run out of excuses for stalling and the beast corners her. She begins calling out for Ben, hurting the beast's feelings, who grabs her. Suddenly, Ben arrives and the beast ridicules his appearance and Lindsey's poor taste in men. He calls for his guards and wraiths, but is told they're all sedated or preoccupied. Ben demands he let Lindsey go, and she finds his bravery very attractive. Ben tells the beast they'll imprison him in a dog kennel. The beast takes out his gun to shoot Ben, but Lindsey slaps it away. She grabs a wine bottle, but the beast snatches it and hits Ben over the head. While he celebrates, Lindsey aims the gun at him, but he warns her when he dies, he'll return as Satan. Lindsey says she's not scared of him and wonders why anyone would be. She then fumbles with the gun and shoots him in the chest. The beast teeters, but he lunges straight at Lindsey. Panicking, she shoots him twice more and he topples over. Lindsey runs to Ben and wakes him. However, they see the beast standing back up. Ben suggests shooting him repeatedly, leaving the task to Lindsey as he scavenges the fallen guards for more weapons. Lindsey riddles the beast with bullets, but he's invincible. He cackles at the futility until Ben hits his head from behind. The beast falls down with Ben repeatedly smacking his head. When nothing they do can put down the beast, Ben gets an idea and runs to the laser beam and wonders how to turn the nozzle downward. Suddenly, the night sky lights up and a man descends from heaven on a white horse. Still fiddling with the laser, Ben accidentally shoots down the man on the horse, who turns out to be Jesus. He and Lindsey warily approach the burnt body. Ben realizes the gravity of his error and suggests CPR to revive Jesus, but Lindsey thinks it won't work. Around them, the sky lights up in lightning and thunder. Then, they see a man in a white suit, God demanding an explanation. Ben stutters about panicking and accidentally shooting a laser at his son, but God is fuming because the couple ruined his detailed and specific plan. They fumble over their apologies and God sarcastically forgives them for ruining a plan he's laid out for 4,000 years. Fed up with the insults, Lindsey curses him for his rudeness despite Ben's shushed warnings. The three argue over trivial matters until Earl, now Satan, creeps up from behind and hits God on the head. God wants some time to smite the couple, but Satan wants to battle. The two engage in a fight, with Ben and Lindsey unsure of who to root for. When Ben suggests leaving, she wishes to stay to witness the unusual once-in-a-lifetime duel. The fight continues with Satan holding a broken bottle and God tossing sand into his eyes until they both fall into the jacuzzi. In the water, they punch each other until Satan declares he's had enough. As he's getting out of the pool, he accidentally pulls the speakers into the water, electrocuting them both. The sky lights up like daytime, and the couple approaches, unsure how to make sense of what just happened. Behind them, Mr. Murphy's grinning while riding his smoking mower. Mr. House arrives and initially lambasts their stubbornness, but changes his tune when he sees the beast's lifeless body in the jacuzzi. Morgan and the guards arrive, but when he realizes his boss is dead, he celebrates his freedom. He then wonders if he's the world's leader now, but Mr. House contests the claim and they bicker. Lindsey interrupts, thinking no one should be in charge, and Ben adds they should just all live their lives. This strums Morgan's heartstrings as he considers returning to school. Ben's father hugs him, but Morgan confuses this as a show of romantic affection, making things awkward. Ben and Lindsey share a kiss as the intoxicated wraiths watch on. In the aftermath, the post-rapture plague stopped altogether. The couple's sandwich cart business transforms into a restaurant. Lindsey, now pregnant, is optimistic about the future. Meanwhile, Laura hangs out with the wraiths, her newfound friends. Mr. Murphy is still undead and continues to spend his days trimming his lawn with a broken mower. Mr. House now lives in the Beast's mansion, partying every day with the other guards and wraiths.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.